10 years in the league, Broncos, Jags, Eagles, Browns, Pro Bowl defensive tackles, Super Bowl champion, Malik Jackson. Welcome to Up and Adams. Do you remember Good Morning Football and the Sacksonville tank top?
Of course, of course. Legendary days, legendary days. It's good to be back with you. I appreciate you having me.
It's good to see you. I'm excited about these Jags in the second half, but in honor of the Broncos taking on the Chiefs on Sunday, I'd like you to also remember this day. Let's go to week 2, my friend. 2015, you iced the game with a sack of Alex. What do you remember here?
Absolutely nothing. No, I'm just kidding. It was a great day, right? Just a lot of wins that year, and just a lot of success. Got my boy Antonio Smith right there. So just remembered really just being in the bag and learning from guys like Von and D Ware, and just going to every next game, just next game up.
The Broncos were up in this one. This was the final play of the game. I very much remember it because it was like the doctor that I just saw you torch, Laurent Duvernay Tardif. He really, you wanted the strip sack, that exclamation point on that one. So beautiful. And I want to start with now, 10 years later, this 2025 edition of that game. Just like 2015, defense is the strength of this team. Different coach, lots changed. What specifically do you look at when you're watching that side of the ball that will determine what happens between Patrick Mahomes and Bo Nix and the defenses, of course?
Well, I think you got to look at really the whole defense, right? But not only that, to be a little bit more specific, the D-line rush, can they contain Patrick Mahomes? And then the coverage, right? Can they make sure that they keep those guys and take those short throws away so that the rush can get there, right? I mean, it takes, 2 to 3 seconds to get to the quarterback. So if the back end and the front end can work together, then I think they're going to be successful. Super
Bowl winning Broncos team, remembered for their defense, of course. How far into the playoffs can this Broncos defense carry this team? I brought up the Broncos defense to Coach Bruce Arians yesterday, and he just went, it's like a dream deep. Do you see it that way?
Oh yeah, I think defense wins championships, right? So they have to carry them. Offense has to put up the points, of course, but defense needs to keep the points off the board. That's the only way you get to the playoffs, right? Is some games are going to be gritty where it's 3-7 or 7-14, and they need to make sure that they're standing up every drive and every play. So I think the defense is showing really good right now, but they got to make sure they're consistent to make sure that they're ready for the playoff.
Well, Malik, you think you want the defense to carry them. I don't. I don't want it to be that way. I'd like it to not be a roller coaster, as it has been a little bit from Bo Nix.
Yeah,
he's coming alive in the fourth quarter. He is leading this team to wins. That I adore. If I'm picking clutch quarterbacks, I maintain he is that guy. Early part of these games, a little rocky. From your defensive mastermind, Super Bowl winning perspective, what specifically looks different about Bo right now than what we saw last year, not even just last year to now?
I think it's just confidence, understanding. I think when you come in from college, the speed of the game is different. That playbook goes from maybe like this to like this, right? And so now you have to learn all the plays, and he's been able to get a lot more trust from the coaches, and they're opening up the playbook for him and giving him more options, giving him more control. So I think now he's been able to come into himself and be able to start doing the things he wants, maybe change a play here and there from what he's seeing. And I think it's just a maturation of the player and the quarterback.
You think he's better this year than last year?
Oh, yeah. And I think it's showing right now, right? I mean, like you said, when you go in the fourth quarter and you're taking over games, right, you're understanding, you're seeing things, you're understanding what the defense is doing and what they keep doing, and you've been able to pick that apart. I think he's definitely maturing. Now it's just about consistency.
Do you think that they can win a Super Bowl like this?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I think right now what we're seeing, of course, it's like, the season is always just like the school year, right? Then you got to graduate and go on. But I think right now they're showing good right now. The defense is playing good and the offense is playing well. I think right now, to be honest with you, it's really, can they stay healthy, right? Can they stay healthy and keep all their players on the field and go into the playoffs with the team that they started the season with? That's close. That's close as they start the season with, of course, because you're going to have injuries.
Another one of your former teams seems to be coasting to an NFC East title. Defense noticeably better for the Eagles in recent weeks. What's been the most significant thing that has stuck out about this Eagles team?
I think Jalen Hurts has got them rolling. I think that he's really pushing that offense, got them moving. And I think the head coach is doing a great job getting those guys day in, day out. Looks like they're having a lot of fun. And that's really it. I think the defense is doing their thing. You saw Brandon Graham come back. I couldn't believe it. I dropped my drink and had to stand up out of my seat when I saw him out there. I was like, no way. I thought he was chilling like me. But I'm happy to see the team out there having a lot of success. I know a lot of those guys still. And I just hope they keep rolling.
They have the Lions on Sunday Night Football, so a lot of talk about this offense right now. What is a better sign for the offense, that Saquon had a 100-yard rushing day, which he only had once so far this season, or A.J. Brown having a bounce-back week after just 2 catches and 13 yards against the Packers?
I think you have to have a good running game, but I think it's really AJ being able to get those yards because it stretches the defense, right? They don't pack the box, and now it's a lot more opens up for Saquon. So I think really the pass game, they can get him open, get him going. You can kind of get the double teams off of everybody and really start playing a lot of one-on-one football. And I think that's really going to help the whole offense.
You were there. You were with rookie Jalen Hurts, right?
Yes.
What do you remember about him?
Just quiet, chill, composed. You know what I mean? It was almost like he was just focused. And when you watch him coming from college, right, he's at Alabama, then leaves and go to Oklahoma, you're thinking like a lot of things about the guy. You're like, what's going on? I wonder what he's like, you know? And then you get to meet him. You're like, oh, he's just cool, calm, collected, just wants to win, wants to play, and wants to prove himself. And so that's really the what I got with him sitting behind Carson Wentz and waiting his turn. And now you see what it looks like when you sit there and give a quarterback some time to really mature, understand what it means to be in the NFL, not get thrown in the fire, and then have to perform so fast. So I think he's really taken the opportunity that he has and just the education. And I think it really speaks to something when quarterbacks can really sit down and learn for a year or two and then get thrown in there and be able to thrive.
How big you're making me think, I remember I used to go to NFL Films every Thursday and with Chris Long. And Chris Long was still part of that, that at that point. And he said that even when Wentz was the guy, that Jalen would stay longer, like not longer than Wentz, but he would stay longer than anybody. And he'd be first there, like very quietly would do these things, which I'm sure affected it. But now you're saying this whole thing with Wentz. How big was it for Jalen Hurts, in your opinion, being behind Wentz?
I think it was huge, right? Because you get to look at the success, you get to look at the falls, right? You get to understand what it means, the decisions being made and how you would make them different. And then you get to really put yourself in that, to be able to go home, put yourself in a cerebral mindset and kind of visually see yourself making plays. I think it was huge for him, right? Because, right after Carson Wentz left, he got the job. And I think he understood what the coaches were expecting, what exactly throws they want to see, how they want to run the offense. And he went in there and did it perfectly.
This AJ Brown thing isn't going away, but I mean, he's obviously talking to reporters and reporters go crazy and ask him, it's a crazy circle. I'm so sick of it. I talked to BA about it yesterday. And the more I think about it, it doesn't matter. And I think Jalen is a big part of that. So when I think about it, because it's every receiver wants the ball. This is not new. Not every receiver talks about it, but then it's Jalen, for some reason, Jalen's the reason that I don't think it's a big deal, because I don't think he gives a what about that. He's not and he's saying as much, but I really believe it. I do think some quarterbacks are and OCs and coaches are we got to get him the ball so he shuts up, or we got to get him so he's happy, so he feels involved. There's this, but I don't how much, confidence in that not being an issue is because Jalen's Jalen.
I think it's everything, just looking at his demeanor, the way he acts, just the calm, cool, collected, right? Just super chill. Nothing's that big of a deal. I'm going to do what I do and I'll get you the ball when I get you the ball. That's just his demeanor. At least that's what I see, right? And I think everybody feeds off that and they understand during the week. Seems like he's very clear about what's going on, what he's seeing, and it doesn't look like he truly has favorites, right? He's hitting the person that's open, running the plays that need to be ran, and doing that. So I think everybody understands he's not I'm going to get this guy the ball kind of guy. I think he's I'm going to run this offense, and we're going to win and put the points up. And if that's handing the ball off to Saquon a bunch of times, or if that's throwing it to whoever's open, then that's what I'm going to do. I
want to show you the DPOY odds. And I'd like you to tell me what you make of them. So this is it. Here it is. You can Myles Garrett there. He's the favorite. You can just look at plus odds on him. Who is most likely to give Myles Garrett a run for his money the second half?
I think we got to look at. I like Aiden Hutchinson. Well, I really like everybody. I like Nick Benito. Play, of course, right? I'm gonna go for Nick, but I think Myles is killing it out there. I think he's really standing up, really trying to help that defense go, really trying to pull that team. So, but to answer your question, who? That's tough. I think Verse had a great year last year, and I think he's really performing this year. So, but for me to answer your question, I think I don't know. I think Miles runs away with it, to be honest with you, unless Nick Benito can really step it up and start really packing on a lot more sacks. But and it's interesting, right? Because you got a guy that's on a good team and you got a guy that's not so good team that can win the defense player of the year. It's kind of interesting because, but yeah, I think Miles will run away with it unless Nick can kind of start pushing it more.
You were with Miles in Cleveland your last year, right?
Yep, I was with Miles. Great guy, great leader. Yeah, nothing bad to say about Miles, man. Just you just really see his work ethic, and it's funny. It's funny enough when I was with, it really reminded me of Von Miller, right? Because you're seeing him turn the edge and do pass rushes, and I'm like, damn. I remember when I was young, and like seeing Von do that and trying to implement that. And now I'm in my 30s, and I'm like, I have no way I'm gonna do that. So it's
I don't know. Brandon Graham's out there doing it. I feel like that's got to do something to you. Like, could that be me? No.
Nah, the way these ankles, hips, and knees are feeling right now, I think I'm okay. I'm okay.
You're too busy anyway. You're okay. You have your championship. Like Miles still needs that. I don't think he'll ever get it unless he gets traded, but that's okay. And you're also busy with the Care League, your concierge service that you founded. So congrats on that. Everybody go check that out on Instagram. And thank you so much for hanging out on the show today.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me. It's always a pleasure.
You're the best. Thank you so much.